Welcome, business owners from North Texas. Here in the studio is Michael D. Rubin with MDR Associates and our co-host.
I am Jenny Swain.
Jenny Swain is our Chief Financial Officer of our firm. Welcome, all business owners. Attention, all business owners. If you own a business in North Texas and you've been thinking, for a while, you've been thinking, what's my business worth? Mm-hmm. Isn't that right, Jenny? A lot of business owners we're finding out they don't know what the business is worth.
Right. They dream of potentially getting out someday, but just aren't sure.
They're not sure. How do I get out? What's the process to get out? Last summer, I wrote a book called Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. We now have a podcast and a show on YouTube. Sell your company for maximum value. Nobody wants to sell for minimum value, do they?
I hope not.
Give me the minimum value and I'll be okay.
I mean, I'd like to buy something for a minimum value, but I don't want to sell anything for a minimum.
So what's this show all about? I want to pull up a 40,000-foot view of why we're doing this show. The reason we're doing this show is to, A, inform business owners that they can sell for maximum value if they go through a process.
Right. Secondarily,
I wrote the book to describe that process. In the thousands of meetings with business owners since 2008, we've sold over 227 businesses now. We've got a couple sold this year. I'm sure we're going to end the year at 8 or 10 sales like we normally do. Through that process of meeting with thousands of business owners, guess what the number one question is that I get from business owners?
What is it?
The number one question is, what's your process?
Okay.
Last week, we went over our 10-step unique process. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of meat. We did it quickly in probably 15 minutes, right?
Right.
From discovery meeting all the way to closing and wiring of funds with our 4K video and our marketing package and some of the people that support me here at MDR Associates, all of the team members at MDR Associates. But that's the number one question. If you're riding around, you're a business owner, and you really want to know what you're worth, right? What am I worth? Well, guess what? First of all, let me offer a free and complimentary copy of my book. If you would like that, hit me on my private cell phone. I'm going to give it out right now. Private cell phone, 469-995-6060. 469-995-6060. My name's Michael D. Rubin. Let me know your name, your business type, and you want a complimentary copy of the book. We can do an intro call if you'd like to. If not, I'll just get you the book. So, again, Michael Rubin, my private cell phone, 469-995-6060.
So right now might be a good time to talk about why it's a great time to sell.
Yeah, I mean, 2024, what are we, 2 years away from COVID, really, officially?
Back in the world again?
Back in the world, right? Supply chain issues are somewhat fixed. Everything's kind of back to normal. A lot of our business owners were wanting to sell in 20 and 21. Mm-hmm. They just couldn't.
Right.
It was like all of a sudden alarm bells were going off. Employees were quitting. Supply chain issues.
They were locked down. They couldn't do anything.
Some of my service businesses were shut down 100%. Mm-hmm. So we're back from COVID, and buyers' appetites are through the roof, Jenny.
Yeah.
They want to buy at the highest price possible. They want to buy at a fair price, but a lot of times the competitive nature of how many buyers are out there drive that multiple from 3 times to 4 times to 5 times of their EBITDA or their net income plus add backs. And we talked about that in a few episodes. We're halfway through the book right now. We are today going to talk about what chapter?
Chapter 8. It's called The Art of Finding the Perfect Buyer.
Don't we all want that? I think our goal here at MDR Associates, we're a Christian firm. That's right. We love Jesus, but we're just high integrity, high transparency, and high confidentiality at all times. Our goal is to sell your company for maximum value, keep it confidential, create a competitive landscape, and run a 10-step unique process that we went over last week.
Right.
If you missed last week, all of our radio programs are on our website at sellmycompanynow.com. That's sellmycompanynow.com. We have our 8 podcasts that go over the book, 2 chapters a week, and so far this is number 8 of our radio show, and we've gone through 7 chapters of the book on the radio. It's been a blessing to be with you all. I've met with over 20 business owners. We've listed a few companies right off the radio, and we're running that 10-step unique process we described last week. It's just an honor and a privilege. If you're out there, you're a business owner and you're listening, just hit me on my cell phone. I'll send you a complimentary copy of the book, 469-995-6060. All right, Jenny, let's get into the book.
Okay, well, the first thing I want to ask you is define the perfect buyer. What does that mean?
I think the perfect buyer is someone that carries on the generational legacy of your business.
Okay.
Most of our business owners have Christian values just like we do. You attract your own reality, right? So of the 200 and almost 230 businesses that we've sold, our business owners' number one goal is, give me a fair value, get me max value, but take care of my people.
Right.
And a lot of our business owners call them family. I feel like you guys are family in our firm.
Mm-hmm.
Very close. If I ever did anything with this firm, I'd want to make sure that Todd Hutchinson is taken care of, Jenny Swain is taken care of. Like the people that you work with that are your employees, I like to call them partners, and you probably do too. The number one thing my business owners are concerned about is if I ever sold, and if you're approaching retirement age, you're thinking about it. So this is an important hour for you. Tune in with us this next 40 minutes or so, because what does the perfect buyer look like? Let's talk about that. There's only two kind of buyers out there. Mm-hmm. There's a strategic buyer. Okay. So let's say a company I'm meeting with tomorrow or this week off the radio is a garage service company. Been around 35 years. Garage service. Mm-hmm. A strategic buyer would be another garage service company.
Someone that can just gobble them up.
And they're going to pay a higher multiple than the second buyer.
There's some synergies there.
Right, mm-hmm. Right. The second buyer is a financial buyer. So these are investors that literally want to put cash in to get cash out. And that's why they're going to be a little bit lower on the price, on the overall structure and the price of the deal than a strategic. A strategic has people in place. If they're servicing garage, they probably have an admin, an office manager. They have a whole office staff. They can buy another garage service provider, and boom,
it's going to expand their footprint.
It's going to expand their footprint. They're going to be able to. They might buy it at a 4 times multiple, but really, when the post integration after they bought that, it might be a 2.5 multiple, mm-hmm. because they have they have duplicity. The same people are doing, and some people at some level might not keep their job, but for the most part, we bring on buyers that'll change nothing. It'll take care of your family members. But in terms of what types of buyers are out there, strategic and financial. Right. And within the financial buyers, there's what? There's wealthy investors. There's family offices. There's private equity groups. And those groups are looking aggressively right now to buy companies. Mm-hmm. Especially if your EBITDA or your net income is above $1 million or $2 million, you're in a perfect position to at least test the market. Listen to me. Test the market. Find out what your value is, because you don't know if you want to sell
until you know what you're worth.
So we do complimentary valuations at our firm. For the next 5 callers, if you text me on my phone 469, my private cell phone at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. I'll give you a complimentary copy of the book, and I make calls back to those people tomorrow on Monday from 10 to 12. All right, so if we get back into the meat of what a perfect buyer looks like, that's who we're looking for. We're looking for, we've already listed the business on all the websites. We're qualifying buyers now in the book. That's the step of the process we're in, right? Step 8. And we're qualifying buyers ready, willing, and able to buy your business. You've probably, if you really think about it, you think about how many buyers have hit your email or say they're buyers that are interested in buying your business before you even hire an M&A firm or a business brokerage. You've probably had 10, 20, 30, 40 of those emails.
Right.
You just don't know that you can do it alone. And I can promise you, we went over a chapter in this book entitled what?
Don't do it alone.
It was on Easter, right? We talked about I wouldn't do life without God and Jesus, but we also talked about you can sell a car, you can sell a house yourself or sell by owner. What do you think? I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you think, Jenny? Now that you've been in our firm a few years, you've seen a bunch of deals. What do you think about a business owner that tries to do this on their own?
Well, I think it's a real time drain on them. It's a mental drain on them. They're going to come up with all kinds of things without the tools and the options of figuring out some of the speed bumps, and things pop up in every transaction. And so you need an experienced advisor who has seen lots of deals and who can work you through all the speed bumps and the things that happen. And then you get into the legal aspect, and you just don't want to do that by yourself.
Yeah, I think when we're at a point in the book, if you've been listening to this radio program since March 4th or whenever we started, I think it was March 4th, and now we're in our 8th week of doing this radio program. Right. We're about to enter in the due diligence part of this book. the treacherous part where if you don't have what I call a buffer in the middle, someone that takes the bad news from your side, because when you hire a business broker, M&A firm, we represent you. Our fiduciary responsibility is to you, the seller. But if you don't have a buffer in the middle, taking the bad news from your side and the bad news from that buyer's side, I think the statistic is less than 6 or 7% chance of closing. On the flip side, we close over 90% of the 10 or 12 or 15 projects we take on annually.
Right.
And that's all we take on. We might meet with 50 to 80 to 100 business owners. We take on 15. We might have a capability of going to maybe 16, 17 this year because I've hired Todd Hutchinson as my right hand. But I can tell you, we're founder-led, meaning if you come on with our firm, you're not going to be thrown down to a younger associate. You're going to get the experience of 227 transactions, the founder and CEO, myself. We are a founder-led firm. Jenny, you do a great job looking at the financials, getting every ad back, getting into QuickBooks, potentially cleaning up financials because not all financials are perfectly clean. The cleaner, the better. But, I want to speak to those business owners out there where your financials are not clean. You know what? We have a consulting division led by Jenny. If you don't have clean financials, you want us to at least take a look at it, see what you're worth. I'm going to invite you to hit my private cell phone at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. I'll give you a complimentary copy of this book. We'll have an intro call because conversation's free. I tell my kids all the time, they're both in sales. Someone wants to hire you, conversation's free. You want to sell your business, conversation's free. But documentation beats conversation because once we have that conversation, we like to look at your financials to inform you, to educate you. Jenny will educate you on here's where we're at, if we're ready to go to market or if we need a little bit of cleanup. Can you speak to that for a second, to the business owners of the cleanup aspect?
Yeah, so a lot of times, as business owners, we tend to run things through our businesses to help us with taxes and things like that. And all of those can be add backs. They can be additions to value if we add them back.
And they're one time.
Yep. They're one-time charges. They're, maybe you had a flood last year.
And it's not going to be an ongoing concern.
Right. So we can really dig in. We really understand the financials. We can take a look at it, and we can just really help you get maximum value.
Yeah, and buyers are looking for a marketing package, which is what you do. You take those financials, you build a marketing package. Tom Lociato does our 4K HD video of your whether you're manufacturing, distribution, service. We get the owner speaking on camera. We'll do drone footage of the facility. It's pretty incredible how we've learned over time to package deals and bring them to market so that buyers can take a real good high-level look at the business and make a decision on whether they would like to meet the business owner.
Right.
Which is the next step we're going to talk about, I think, next week.
Right.
Next week, we're going to move into talking about the magical buyer-seller meetings, right? Chapter 9. So if you're a business owner and you're out there and you're thinking, you know what, I'd like to slow down, smell the roses. The first chapter of the book's called Stop Making the Donuts. What I meant by that in the chapter is we all dream of stopping our business and doing our passions. Whether it's golfing, spending time with family, travel. I don't know about you, Jenny, but I want to slow down, smell the roses. I'd like to stop making the donuts. I love what I do. I'm sure you love what you do as a business owner.
Most of the time, right?
Most of the time, but then you have employee issues or federal tax returns,
sales tax audits,
sales tax audits, and it goes on and on. Vendors, banking relationships. Oh, my goodness. People just don't understand. If you're a baby boomer, you're my hero. You've been building a business here in Dallas or Austin. We got calls from Austin. We got a medical practice called me last week from Houston. If you're in any of the Texas cities, anywhere in Texas, we're Texans serving Texans. You like a complimentary opinion of value, you want a complimentary copy of the book, please, right now, text me confidentially on my cell phone. Our business is confidential. Don't worry about it. I'll get you a copy of the book. We'll have an intro call and just talk about what your goals and objectives are. You know, at MDR Associates, we've been saying this a long time. Your goals are our goals. We have no other goals. We have no other goals. We put your goals way above our goals. It's part of our brand promise on our website at sellmycompanynow.com. Go to Brand Promise, look at our team. There's over 60 videos. It's a really good resource on the web.
Yeah, you've done a ton of work on it.
For 10 years, we've been building that website, and we had a lot of great compliments from the 20 people that have inquired so far off the radio that have gone to the website, reviewed all the information, seen all of our closed. You can fake a lot of stuff on a website. You can't fake the closed transactions. They've looked at the closed transactions, our team, our unique 10-step unique process, our brand promise. We love to give back. In about 8 to 10 weeks from now, probably in a couple months, we're going to have the 3 nonprofits that we give every year to on the radio show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we like to give back. I know as business owners, we have a big heart to give back. So a portion of every success fee, we give back to 3 nonprofits that my wife have identified, I've identified, my team's identified. One of them supports, it's called Leah's Kids, and it supports children that get that incredibly bad, unbelievable diagnosis that they might not make it.
Right.
And Leah stands with those families. It's unbelievable. She's 24. She had cancer. She beat it. She wants to stand and fight with those families. Another one is Amazon Outreach. They build water wells along the Amazon. And the third one we just can't get away from, I can't get away from, is St. Jude. I love how they pay all the bills you're not expecting when the unexpected happens.
Right.
So we're going to have at least 2 of the 3 of those. I don't know if we'll have a St. Jude representative, but we'll certainly have Leah, and we'll have Steve Trammell from Amazon Outreach on the show. All right. We've got just about 10 seconds left, so I'm going to give you my cell phone. If you'd like a free copy of the book, hit me at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Jenny, we'll be right back with more information on how you can sell your company for maximum value. All right, business owners, welcome back to Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Here with Michael D. Rubin, CEO and founder, and Jenny Swain,
Hey.
our Chief Financial Officer. She does all the financial back-end work, and I'm usually playing poker and qualifying buyers.
I do all the boring stuff.
You do the stuff that I really don't want to do. Remember how many times on this radio show have I looked at you and said, "You're such a blessing"?
Oh,
that's
thank
because
you.
I get to stay in my sweet spot, which is qualifying buyers.
Except that sometimes when I talk, your eyes glaze over when I talk about finances.
No, EBITDA is so interesting to me. I'm sure you too. I'm sure as business owners, you've got your eye on the numbers 24/7. I'm sure of it as business owners.
Right.
Nope, we don't. We're trying to build the business.
I used to own a business, and all I focused on was whether or not I had cash in the bank.
On the way down here, I heard you talking to a client talking about gross income versus gross profit income. Gross income, then gross profit, and then net income. And her eyes were glazing over, and mine probably were too. Yours would too. But it's important. It's important for you to come in, clean up the financials, and that's why you never want to try to do this yourself. You need a deal team.
Right.
With Ed Tutal-Jones and Randy White on our team now, we call ourselves Championship Deal Team. But if you go to championshipdealteam.com, that'll forward to our website as well. But, yeah, I mean, you don't want to do it alone. If you try to do it alone and start qualifying buyers, we're on a chapter now saying finding the perfect buyer. So you brought up a good point. How do we do that? We list on 100 websites, Biz, Buy, Sell, and 99 other websites. We pay to be at the highest level. And what does that do, Jenny? It creates a competitive landscape. You can't do that alone.
Right. We always bring multiple buyers.
Oh, we have 3 to 6 offers on every deal.
Right.
3 to 6 offers is what you want, and I'll tell you, one offer. Look, if you're a business owner in Texas and you've been getting emails from buyers, call me. You need a buffer in the middle. We have gotten in the middle of deals that are already going on to flip that 6% of success by yourself to 93, 94% when we get involved because
you're going to get more value. You're just going to get more value.
You're going to get a higher price that covers our fee by a mile. Don't try to do it alone. Don't try to save the fee. If you're a business owner, you've been building your business here in Texas for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, text me right now on my cell phone. This is private cell phone. Text me, 469-995-6060. I'll give you a complimentary copy of the book, and we'll have a discussion on what we think your company is worth, because you don't know if you want to sell
until you know what you're worth.
So I think qualifying buyers is an art form. I've done it for 30 years. We qualify them ready, willing, and most importantly, able to close on your business. And we won't select a buyer that I'm not 100% confident. I've talked to the bank president. I've validated the funds. It's called proof of funds. proof of funds. We also get earnest money. I think I've mentioned that on the show, which just is a strategic psychological advantage to get $50, $100, $200,000 in our escrow account in a third-party escrow so that they believe that they've already bought the business.
Right.
There's a psychological thing of qualifying buyers, and I got to tell you, try to list a business on your own, you'll get beat down. Maybe you've been beat down. Maybe you're on the market. Maybe you tried to do this yourself. Text me on my cell phone at 469-995-6060. Love to have a complimentary confidential discussion and give you a copy of the book, Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. My name's Michael D. Rubin. This is Jenny in the studio today on Sunday. We wish you a happy Sunday. We're going to be right back. We got a quick message, and we'll be right back with more of Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Attention Texas business owners, welcome back to Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. I'm Michael D. Rubin with MDR Associates, and I'm in the studio with our Chief Financial Officer.
I am Jenny Swain.
We just went over buyers, what kind of buyers. They're strategic and financial buyers. We talked about qualifying buyers, ready, willing, and able.
We talked about why you don't want to do it alone.
Oh, gosh. Do not try to sell your business yourself. All you're going to do is take your eye off your business.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the experience that we have qualifying buyers. I will not. Do buyers lie to us about how much they have?
All the time.
How much they have? What they're going to do?
All the time.
I talk to business owners. I've called 20 off the radio, and I'm like, "Oh, you've got an offer already? That's fantastic. Is it in writing?" And they're like, "No."
Right. Mm-hmm.
When you've got a letter of intent to purchase, just the offer, it's somewhere between worthless and interesting.
That's right.
A verbal conversation is worth nothing. Zero.
Right.
You need a professional firm. If it's not us, I've got a few I can recommend in town. Very good firms. Do not sell this yourself. Let's talk statistics for a second. For a person that just popped on the radio, they're listening to this for the first time. Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. That's our show. It's our 8th week. Jenny's our CFO. I'm the founder and CEO. We've looked at thousands of businesses over 15 years. We've closed almost 230 now. Well, I think we're 227. And we learned a few things. We have a process that we described last week, a 10-step unique process. If you missed that, go to our website at sellmycompanynow.com, sellmycompanynow.com. Click on watch the show or listen to the radio show. Listen to the radio show. And we have a podcast and a show. YouTube, you can find Sell Your Company for Maximum Value, all of our episodes on the podcast. But the radio show, we're going through the same book. I wrote this last summer. Because you know what? The silver tsunami is upon us. What's the silver tsunami? It's 77 million baby boomers are in the United States. 11,000 of them retire every day. A huge portion, 4,000 or 5,000 of them own small businesses. Of all the small businesses in the United States, listen to this. 40% are owned by that incredible generation known as the baby boomers. If you're one of them, you've been building your firm for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and you'd like a complimentary copy of my book and an intro call potentially with myself confidentially, I'm going to give you my private cell phone right now at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Give me your name, your business type, and I will text you back, and we will have a call. I make all my calls the next day, Monday, tomorrow, from 10 a.m. to noon. But there's 77 million baby boomers. 40% of all businesses are owned by them. And 10,000 or 11,000 are retiring every single day, and it's going to happen over the next 15 years, Jenny. It's called the silver tsunami or the gray wave.
Gray wave.
And it's interesting. That's our client, right? 55 to 75 years old.
Right.
They're approaching retirement age or at retirement age. They want to slow down, smell the roses. They'd like a lot of people. This is interesting. A lot of our business owners, when we bring up the second bite of the apple, they don't know what we're talking about. They think selling their businesses, see your keys, see you later.
Right.
No. It
doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. A lot of the private equity and top investors that are making huge offers right now would love you to stay in place.
Right.
Stay exactly as CEO, get your salary, take 60 to 70, 80% of all the chips off the table. In other words, it's not 100% sale. It's a majority. It's 60, 70, 80%. But think about it. If you could get millions of dollars off the table, if you're a sizable business, continue to get your $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 salary, and help them identify smaller businesses in your sector.
Right.
Your check down the road, if that private equity grows it like they tend to 3, 5, 7 times as big. Because look, as a business owner, we know, we've seen it. Our business owners have grown that company up to a certain level, and they can't grow it beyond that ceiling, and that's okay.
There's so many of
That's
the
why
people
private
we
equity
work with.
exists.
Yeah.
That's why family offices exist. That's why wealthy investors exist. They can come in, give you a huge check, de-risk your company, take chips off the table, continue to be the CEO. Nothing changes. All your employees are safe and sound, and you're going to find smaller targets to grow this 10 million to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 million. And if you still own 20%, you're going to get a $14 million check at 70 million, even though you initially sold at 10 million. It's unbelievable. We've seen it many, many times at MDR Associates. There's a company called Dynamic Glass down in Houston. Owner's name is Rick. And, it's sold somewhere between 15 and 20 million. They're entertaining a deal right now over 100 million. It's unbelievable. And we told Rick, please keep 20%. Please keep 20%. He kept it. His second check's going to be way bigger than the first. If you're a business owner in Texas, you're driving around, you'd like to know more about Second Bite of the Apple, you want the complimentary copy of my book, you can hit me on my, text me right now on my private and confidential cell phone, private cell phone at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Jenny, any comments around Second Bite of the Apple?
No, but I think it would be interesting. This is completely changing the subject, but maybe you talk a little bit about the semiconductor company that we sold last year. Kind of giving them a little lay of the land on that one. That was an interesting one.
Yeah, we sold a company called Nova Magnetics out of Garland, Texas last year. It was in between 5 and 10 million as far as sales price, and it's a really interesting company. The owner of the company, the operator, I should say, of this family business, died for complications out of COVID.
Right.
A year prior.
Right. And so brother had taken it over.
Yeah. Chris came in. Gosh, I love you. If you're listening, Chris Davis, I love you. You came into the company, continued to run that family business, but really didn't know much about the business. He was doing the best he could.
Right. He was commuting from another state.
Flying in from another state, back and forth. He comes into our boardroom and says simply, I want to sell maybe in 5 to 7 years. I have a sales coach. He's trying to grow the business. I said, what percentage do you own of the company? He said 20%. And, and so we had a frank discussion about it would be in the family's best interest to sell the company now for what we could get. Right? You did a lot of cleanup. You looked at a lot of stuff. You came in. We couldn't really get to the bottom line EBITDA, but it was such a specific, think elevators, oil and gas. They make components. They're a component electrical component manufacturer for a few different industries. Magnets.
Right.
And so we built a marketing package, did a great job on that. We shot a video of Chris Davis in the facility talking about the business, all the value drivers. It was super interesting, and I think he was tickled.
Yeah.
Tickled when the buyer that was the perfect buyer hit us off the websites through our process. And he was such a blessing. He was so easy to work with. His due diligence was very shallow. You know why it was shallow?
Because he already knew the
had
business.
17 other electrical component companies that he'd bought over 40 years. His dad started it. He continued it. And the guy was just a gem on how he treated Chris and all the employees. Nothing changed in that company.
Right.
They're getting, they got a lot of chips off the table, did a little bit of seller financing, so they're getting monthly checks, all the family members, and all is good. I'm so proud of the work that our team did for Nova Magnetics last year.
Except if I remember
Texas.
correctly, their accounting system was very old, and so it was hard to get the good data out of it.
It was 20 years old, completely outdated. Completely outdated. If you're a manufacturer, distribution company, or service, manufacturing, distribution, service. Hey, HVAC, we're number one in Texas in HVAC, plumbing, electrical. If you're driving around and you've been building company for decades, you'd like to know how much you're worth because you don't know if you want to sell.
Until you know what you're worth.
So I would say hit me on my cell phone, direct, founder to founder, at 469-995-6060, just like Chris Davis did. 469-995-6060. Give you a complimentary copy of the book, Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. And we'll have a brief intro discussion. I make all those calls Monday from 10 a.m. to noon, and we'll just have a discussion. Conversation's free.
And I think it's worth it to say that it doesn't have to be that you're wanting to sell tomorrow.
No,
no. I mean, it needs to, you need to be thinking about this.
If you're looking in the next year, 2 or 3, give us a call. Give us a call. Hit my cell phone. I'd love to talk to you and connect, just founder to founder. Let's have each other's direct cell phone. A lot of times we can't get through to me. We have an 800 number. Can't get through to them. That's 469-995-6060. 469-995-6060. We're going to take a quick break, Jenny.
Okay.
We're going to be right back to conclude the show. And we just want to thank you right now. Thank you to our listeners for tuning in for 8 weeks on our show, Jenny, where we just go over how you can maximize the sale of your company. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back, business owners. Attention, all business owners. This is Michael D. Rubin with MDR Associates. Welcome back to the show. Sell your company for maximum value. I'm in the studio with a good friend and my coworker, Jenny Swain, our Chief Financial Officer.
I am here. Yes.
Such a big title, I guess. My title I've changed. It used to be the Chief Executive Officer, but because I'm in the middle of every deal, I feel like that's my God-given gift. I was even called a revival specialist this week.
You don't sign your emails Bulldog?
No. I might start. That's my nickname. Yours is Jenny on the block. Hers is Jenny on the block.
Yep.
I'm Bulldog because I don't put up with buyers that can't close. We're talking about the perfect buyer this week, and it's interesting. Our biggest deal we're working on right now is a metal recycling company. Very strategic, couple locations. We have a buyer flying in from Houston that seemingly, to me, we're meeting tomorrow from 9 to 1 at our firm for the magical buyer-seller meeting, which we're going to talk about next week. Don't miss next week. We're going to talk about that magical buyer-seller meeting where the magic either happens or it doesn't. And we either get an offer, an LOI with refundable earnest money, or we don't in the next week after that or a few days. So
is this a brand new
buyer? Brand new.
Okay.
I don't even think I've told you about it. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be sold. I have a feeling
it's going to be magical.
It's going to be magical tomorrow. So hopefully, if we do our job, we're running the process. I mean, this particular company has received 265 inquiries.
Oh, that's a lot.
265 inquiries off our confidential ad, meaning a blind ad, doesn't disclose location, doesn't disclose who the company is. Confidentiality, guys. If you're listening out there, if you ever do business with MDR Associates, our business is confidentiality. But 265 business inquiries. We have 78 packages out. What do I mean by a package? They sign the NDA, they get a package. What is that? That's your incredible confidential marketing package.
Right.
It's the third-party valuation we have done outside of our firm.
And then the video.
And the XD 4K video we did. Unbelievable drone footage of both locations. Owner principals on camera talking about what drives that company, who their customers are, growth potential. It's incredible. We've been complimented by all the buyers out there, all the 75 that I've contacted that have the package. You're one of the most professional M&A firms. You package companies better than anything we've seen. And so I'm just I'm honored when I hear that. I think, wow, we spent 15 years chiseling this process to create that competitive landscape. We've already gotten 2 offers. This will be the 3rd. And I'm sure in the next few weeks on this show, I'm going to be able to let you guys know it is under contract. We are now entering that due diligence time. And that's another reason. You cannot do due diligence. Once you get to an offer, if you're doing it by yourself, you're trying to do this whole process by yourself, sell your company by yourself, you're not going to ask for refundable earnest money. You're going to forget. If you forget and you get the offer, even if you sign it, there's no reason for a buyer to give you earnest money after you sign the LOI, is there?
No, not at all.
There's no leverage.
Right.
So you just got to do every step correct. You have to have, I think, a closer or a revival specialist that's going to revive. Each deal seems to die how many times?
2, 3.
2, 3, 4, 5.
4.
If you're a business owner and this is intriguing to you and you'd like to at least find out what you're worth because you don't know if you want to sell till you know how much you're worth, hit me on my private cell phone. Text me right now at 469-995-6060. 469-995-6060. You'll get a complimentary copy of the book, and we'll have just a 5 to 10 minute intro call and see if you're a fit for us and we're a fit for you. We take very few companies to market.
Right.
I would say 1 out of how many do you think when we meet with them?
5 or 6.
I would say 3 or 4 or 5, 4 or 5.
Okay.
20%, I think you said last week. And you're right, because the other 80% aren't ready to go to market. They aren't profitable, trackable. They're certainly not motivated. I like to tell business owners, I'll be as motivated as you are, but not more.
Right.
Most of our fee is earned when, Jenny? It's called a success fee.
Oh,
and
at
it's
the end.
At the end.
Right. At the close.
So it's.
I thought, is that a trick question? What's going on?
It's just one of those things where you have to understand we can't start the process if we can't complete it.
Right.
We even go so far as to say at MDR Associates, we don't work on deals. We complete them because it's not. We have a 90% success rate. You know what the industry standard success rate is? 20%. You can find it online. Google how many businesses sell. 20%. 20 out of 100. You can really change your odds by hiring a professional business brokerage, M&A firm to run a real process, to have that buffer in the middle that's going to revive the deal and get it to what? The wiring of funds. We feel we haven't even done our job unless we get to the wiring of funds. And I'm sitting across from someone at Bob's Chop House at our celebration dinner, tipping a wine glass to how they sold.
Right.
I mean, it's been my honor to serve business owners. If you're a business owner, I just want to talk to you directly, and you're out there and you're driving around and you're thinking, man, this is becoming tough. I'm in my mid-60s, upper 60s. I need someone to maximize the value. I need someone to really come alongside me, get in the trenches, get 3 to 6 offers, and create a competitive landscape and find the perfect buyer. That's this chapter.
Right.
Find the perfect buyer. It's an art form. It is. It's an art form. It's difficult. You can try to do it yourself. We've had many call us, just like the landscaper we talked about a couple weeks ago. You can try to do it yourself, but you might just come back to us. So if you'd like we're going to conclude the show here in about 30 seconds. If you'd like to come to us and just at least get a complimentary copy of my book, Last Chance, my direct private cell phone is 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. God bless you if you're a business owner. God bless you taking care of all those families for decades. It's time for you to slow down and smell the roses. Till next week, I'm Michael D. Rubin, and
I am Jenny Swain. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. Be blessed, North Texas.